Morning. Good morning, Philippines. Hello, hello. Yeah. Okay, good morning, Philippines. Hello, world. Okay, I'm Oscar. This is Millennial Memo. Personal stories of a millennial government employee living here in the province of Nueva Ecija. So, time check, it's 7:05. 7:05. Araw ng Biyernes, May 10, 2024. Okay. So, wala akong activities kahapon. Travel order kasi ko. Kaya na sinabi ko sa inyo kahapon. Meron kasi akong talk sa Wesleyan University, Philippines on the computer engineers in the future of work. No? But, meron kaming event dito sa LGU kung saan nagkaroon ng general consultation meeting ng LGU, and at the same time yung counterparts hospital, no? The family of the city mayor was present, and some of the stakeholders and of our city, no? And I designated two of my staff to attend sa consultation, and they requested some of our cash for works to to assist. So ngayon, pagpasok ko, intrigahin ko sila kung ano nangyari, ano bang purpose, ano ba nangyari, ano bang kabuuan. Though from the word consultation, meaning they ask for advices, recommendations, suggestions, how we can utilize the hospital in its maximum capacity, or optimized usage, parang ganun. So meron kasing nagkaroon ng parang team building, not totally team building, but workshop kung saan meron yata mga tarpaulins na nilagay, Manila paper, kartolina para magsulat, magsagot. So that was my initial idea of what happened yesterday. So also yung sa no we had this conversation with one of the analysts with regards to the implementation of traffic module sa system, kung saan since we are apprehending violators sa ating traffic dito sa traffic ordinance dito sa aming LGU, we wanted it to done through the system as well. So the idea is to first digitalize only the process, but as we dive deeper into the process, we are trying to use mobile applications to to save and to save expenses, to save our budget. So today, pag-usapan namin yan, kung paano gagawin. Kasi usually the actual process that the traffic management public safety division of our local government unit is purchasing tickets. Tama, may ticket. We're in traffic law enforcers, and PNP. They issue these tickets to the violators, then the violators will then pay for the their violations. Sometimes they do not pay for it, hindi nila binabayaran. So what if, diba, merong mobile app, wala ng ticket number, meron na lang TOP. Saan? Okay, here's the driver's license. The enforcer is getting only the the information, no, required by the system. And then bigay ni enforcer, ito po yung TOP ninyo, ito babayaran ninyo. Yun na, diretso dun sa treasurer. Then if paid na, okay na, yun lang naman. But here pala, we don't have the capacity to confiscate kasi. To confiscate driver's license because of the existing law about the deputization. Tama ba? Only the deputized agencies of the MMDA and the LTO has or have the authority to confiscate, no, driver's license. So, but if you want to deputize, no, to get deputized by the MMDA, the scenario is all the collections, no, that you have collected, all the payment of the violators will then go transmitted to the LTO. So wala rin naman income ang city, so hindi nagpapa-deputize. But there are instances na pwede mag-impound yung LGU. So paano paraan? That's not, hindi ko na alam. Meron ordinance dito sa LGU kung paano nangyayari sa mga ganun. So that's the idea, no? Instead of ticketing na binibili pa, why not use the mobile app na kukunin na yung details, diba? Yun. Para wala nang bibiling mga ticket. Siya pang babayaran, siya pang bibilin, di ba? Usually, yung ticket number na ini-issue kasi ng traffic ngayon, yun ang basis ng payment ng violator. So later on, we will discuss it. And today, I will ask Sean to set up the biometrics that were previously, brought by the developer, by the account manager Sir Rigel last Wednesday. So kasi on Tuesday next week, we will be having the pre-deployment meeting of the HRIS. So all the biometrics will then be utilized, and then be monitored closely by the HR. So the pre-deployment meeting serves as our what they call this, parang approval or assessment of what are the things that we can only deploy. Kasi sabi nung analyst kahapon, last time, na may mga instances na hindi binigay yung details during the interview. So we are still reviewing it, kaya hopefully makita namin kung ano yung mga concerns. So ako, upon checking the HRIS module, napakadami kasi yung sub-modules, so isa-isayin namin yun. And I think saka ako na Biyernes kasi nakakatamad eh. Sa Monday na lang siguro. Anyway, pero check ko na rin kung paano diskarte nun. Kung may FAQ na yun, re-reviewin ko na lang din. And yeah. And last night, nag-chat sa akin yung sa province, the ICT province, that na may DTC man o wala, we will be launching the DTC. We will be preparing their donated items. My God, ginamit na namin, wala pang official launching. But anyway, kailangan kasi namin, maintindihan naman siguro nila yun. And kapag hindi namin ginamit yun, everything will be compromised. Yung process and how we can cope with the existing processes, no? Una-una, matagal ang procurement. Since nandyan na yung gamit ng DICT, we can easily use it to deploy sa mga ibang offices na kailangan, no? So that's it. So pag-usapan namin ng team yun ngayon, and they are asking me, the province, to set it up on June 5 kasabay nung digital literacy training. Yeah. I think that's all for today. And hindi pa. So our activity today, meeting with the team with regards to June 5 digital literacy training and the launching of DTC, and also the review of the HRIS and the setup of biometrics, review of the system of the HRIS, and also magpapa-pizza party ako kasi nakatapos naman ng activities yung mga bata natin kahapon, Sean and Azel. They were both designated and delegated to attend dun nga sa consultation ng hospital. And dun sa aking talk kahapon, no? Just like noong nag-talk ako sa NU Clark, I shared the possibilities and the future of work for the computer engineers after their graduation. Today, there are many aspiring professionals, even that they're not involved in the ICT industry, wanting to test the waters in the ICT industry, ICT field. So based on my recent research, computer engineers have a continuing competitors, especially the ComSci. After the ComSci, the information systems graduate and the IT, amounting to 40 nasa 130,000 competitors hanggang 2030. So what makes them advantageous is that their existing knowledge, their theoretical skills in the field of ICT, especially in the hardware area, when it comes to automation. Kasi sa computer engineering, meron silang kasamang automation. They are working with hardware, the breadboard, the Arduino, yun, unlike sa other ICT field kung saan more on web dev, software engineering, talaga nakatutok lang sa computer. So it's a two-in-one computer, hardware and software kasi ang specialized ng computer engineers. But again, depends on their path, some students pursue networking, some pursue a software developer, some pursue a the hardware field. May mga ganun, iba naman tayo ng patutunguhan, iba naman yung focus natin, yung path natin. But what I shared kahapon, that certifications matter in our field. That's why myself and I is looking for other certifications, and also studying again with the Google free Google certificate courses sa internet. So again, I'm looking for possible sponsorships, scholarships sa mga ganyan. Baka sakali makahingi tayo ng fund, diba? So hopefully someday makagamit naman tayo ng tawag dito, makahingi tayo ng pondo. Kasi hindi naman din ganun kasi kataasan yung sinusweldo natin. At pagka dinagdag pa natin yung sa expenses natin, medyo hihirapin tayo. Anyway, for now, tiis tayo sa mga free, tiis tayo sa mga in-offer ng DICT, na I think shareable naman sa LinkedIn. So during my spare time, I enrolled, or I study during my spare time. I study various, mayroon naman totally various, So ngayon, ang inaaral ko is data analysis and data analytics, data science and data engineering. Baka sakali, di ba? And as a person na laging parang nag-iisip ako na stagnant, na kung wala ng improvement, I always look for education, for knowledge. Ano kasi ako uhaw sa knowledge, uhaw sa idea. Kaya parang pagka wala na ako tunan at parang palagi ka na lang yun ang ginagawa mo, nadidepress ako. Parang wala na ako improvement sa buhay, wala na ako improvement. Ano bes wala. Yeah. So yeah, that's my part-time, not totally part-time. That's what I do during my spare time. Mag-enroll sa free courses, join the free courses, finish the free course. Sayang diba? Magagamit din naman natin yan. And also, I just wanna share with you, so maaga pa naman, 7:20 pa lang. Just wanna share with you my recent conversation with my old school classmate, no? Si James Kevin Del Rosario, no? Here's the story. Last time na nag-abot kami sa kusina, pinag-usapan nila yung TCP. So TCP is about the courses or the what do you call that, the courses, units that you need to finish, to complete, in order for you to take the licensure exam for teachers, no? So I was there, no? Sa time na yun, sa ganong scenario wherein I feel stagnant in my job here in the government. So, and also because of the salary wage. The salary. No? Kaya, sa isip ko, mag-LPT na lang ako. Mag-career shift ako sa pagtuturo. So, that was before, no? Siguro pandemic in 2022, ganun, no? So, seryoso ako nung time na yon na mag-aaral nga. So, nangyari, nag-enroll ako sa TCP. So, nangyari dyan, ang ginawa ko, basa-basa, join ako sa mga klase. Pero hindi ako nagbayad ng tuition. Kasi, upon my enrollment, meron akong narinig na maigpit daw tong si AU sa mga attendance sa mga events, no? Though it is online, no? Pero pinapapunta daw sa school. So one time, after we submit our assignments, sabi nung dean or nung isang teacher doon, you are required to attend ganito ganyan para wala kayong ganito ganyan. Para meron kayong ganito ganyan, umattend kayo, pagka hindi, ganyan ganyan. Ano ba naman kahang ko yan? Sabi ko, alam naman nilang mga nagtatrabaho din kami sa government. Hindi naman kasi lahat, walang trabaho. Iba talaga nagtatrabaho. So, nire-require. So, kinausap ko yung mga teacher. Ganun to talaga yung policy ng school. So, I was disappointed. Though I know I'm performing well, but as they require me to visit this school just to have that kind of attendance, wala na. Disappointed na ako. Sabi ko, siya naman natuka ako. Masyadong demanding. Unlike sa bagay, I cannot blame it naman kasi sa masteral, hindi naman siya nagko-consume ng enough time. So yun, sabi ko sa classmate ko, okay, so nag-ano ka pala kasi sa ganito rin ba ang school? Yes, o yun din daw. Nabubur yung stagnant, feeling mo wala ka na improvement. Sabi ko na tama hinala ako kasi hindi siya mag-enroll doon pagka walang dahilan, no? So I know the experience, I know the feeling kasi nandun din ako. So, nangyari, sabi ko sa kanya, wala pa kasi siyang civil service exam. So, di ko alam kung nag-try siya or nag-fail siya. So, ang sabi ko sa kanya, pare, kumusta yung civil service mo ba? Hindi pa siya nag-exam. I don't know And then, ano na kasi yun, MPA na. Masters of Public Administration. So, sabi ko sa kanya, MPA ka na. Bakit di mo pa try? Sa MPA, automatic may connections ka mabubuo doon, may network. Ba't di mo i-try magturo or lumipat ng ibang agency? Total, may mga connections ka naman. Sabi niya, mahirap mahiwalay sa comfort zone. That is true. That is true. Working here in the government kasi is finding your comfort zone or safe haven. Saan you feel safe, you feel stability, you feel comfort zone. But sometimes somehow you feel your growth as a person is slow, mabagal, and also affects your financial stand, especially if you're the breadwinner and you have this low salary. Mahirap. Kaya siguro yun ang naisip niya. So sabi niya, pagka after niya ng LPT, I don't know kung isang SEM siya or dalawang SEM. Dati kasi, dalawang SEM. Kasi, hindi nila inalaw na magma-maximize ka ng course, especially ng units, especially if you're working in the government. So sabi niya, one SEM lang daw siya. Okay, walang problema. Ako kasi dati, government employee, dalawang SEM. Mayabang ako eh. Diba? So since pumasa naman ako civil service during my second year college, tingin ko ipapasa ko naman yun. But yun nga, hindi ko tinuloy kasi may disappointments na nangyari. Anyway, sa kanya nang galing yun. Na para bang wala na siyang improvement sa city. Though, comfortable siya dito in such a way na yung tenure niya, yung kinikita niya, yung trabaho niya, yun eh. Yun yung comfort zone niya. Na sinasabi niya mahirap alisin. Na I think, if you are looking for a better wage, higher salary, you might consider use your connections, especially meron ka namang master ba't di ka magturo, di ba? Kung may connections ka na buo, try ko mag-apply sa iba. Yun ang sinasabi ko sa kanya. On my case kasi, I do not expect na mapupunta ako sa academe na magtuturo. Kaya lang naman din ako dati nag-aral ng master's, nabuburyong ako. I feel the same feeling, katulad nung naramdaman ni James ngayon. Nauna lang ako. So, unexpectedly, nagamit yung masteral ko ngayon. No? And I enjoyed teaching, especially, siguro, nasa lahi kasi namin yung pagtuturo. May aunties, no? Most of them are in the DepEd. No? May principal, may teacher 3, may MT, no? Yan, and some of nasa government din naman, LGU employees din naman. Yung iba nasa as uniform personnel. Yan yung mga nasa track ng family ko. Bihira yung nasa private sector. Siguro I think 90%, 80% is nasa government. So yeah. So I think meron akong gagawing LinkedIn post. Yung sa may finding comfort zone in the government as a millennial government. Yeah, so sabi ko kay Jigs, pare kung kailangan mo ng advice, sabi mo lang ako kasi napagdaan ako rin yan. So I can give you advice. Sa panahon kasi ngayon, may nagbibigay pa si advice. Meron naman daw nagbibigay sa akin advice mga classmates niya. Ang problema lang siya, nalilito lang siya sa career path na gusto niyang patunguhan. So I think that's the problem, no? Sa mga millennials, especially if you are between 25 to 35, I think. Yeah. It is so crushing and mentally breaking. No? Dapat kasi natagpuan mo na yung path mo pag nasa 30 ka na. No? I'm still looking for my path. No? The good thing about me is that I kept chances kept myself busy, Yan, meron akong part-time. Nagamit ko na yung masteral ko. And hoping that magtuloy-tuloy ang aking pagtuturo. It's one way of, surviving. And yeah, life is a, survival. No? Survival of the fittest. Hindi ka pwedeng pa-chill-chill lang. Though sa buhay natin talagang may pinanganak na advantages na. And yung iba, pinanganak ng walang-wala, 'di ba? Napakahirap eh. So, yeah, I think okay na 'yun. So, I support those millennials na is still finding their path kung saan man sila naroon, kung anong gusto nila mangyari. Yung iba, still trying their best na ma-permanent. Some millennials are, naging ibang bansa because of sa hirap ng buhay dito sa Pilipinas. And, yeah. Again, life is a jungle. Life is, survival of the fittest. That's the reason why education is very important. If sometimes somehow na hindi you do lack of education, well then I'm sorry, experience will teach you na lang. But pag may education kasi and experience, those are very helpful sa'yo. What life teaches you, experience mo, and theoretically tinuturo sa education, sa pag-aaral. Good combination siya. So, yeah, I think that concludes my video today. 7 minutes. And it's 7:30. Again, thank you very much for watching. I'm Oscar. This is Millennial Memo, personal stories of millennial government employee living here in the province of Nueva Ecija. Thank you very much for watching.